That call came at 1:37 a.m. on a Monday morning, cutting through the silence of my Manhattan apartment. The voice on the other end belonged to General Patricia Hayes from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, but there was something in her tone I'd never heard before. The controlled desperation of someone who'd just witnessed the complete failure of everything we'd built to protect our planet. Professor Kaku, you need to get to NORAD immediately. We've just conducted the most comprehensive defensive test in human history against 3E Atlas, and the results change everything we thought we knew about our planetary security capabilities. I was instantly awake, my mind racing. General Hayes commanded America's most advanced military technologies. If she was calling me at 1 a.m. about defensive test failures, something had fundamentally altered our understanding of what we were dealing with. General, what kind of defensive test are you referring to? Professor, at 22:30 GMT, we initiated Protocol 7, a coordinated defensive assessment using every weapon system, defensive technology, and countermeasure capability in our arsenal. Nuclear missiles, directed energy weapons, electromagnetic pulse devices, kinetic interceptors, even experimental quantum disruption systems. My blood went cold. Protocol 7 was humanity's ultimate defensive response, the use of every weapon we'd ever developed in a coordinated assault designed to neutralize existential threats. General, are you saying we attacked 3I Atlas? Professor Kaku, I'm saying we threw everything we had at this object, and it was like throwing pebbles at a mountain. Not only did our weapons fail to affect it, the object didn't even acknowledge that it was being attacked. But let me tell you what NASA doesn't want you to know about the complete failure of Earth's planetary defense systems. I arrived at NORAD's Cheyenne Mountain facility 4 hours later to find the most advanced military installation on Earth in controlled chaos. Officers and scientists were manning every computer terminal, running calculations with the desperate intensity of people trying to understand a threat that exceeded every contingency plan. Dr. Michael Torres, NORAD's Defense Systems Coordinator, met me at the blast doors with eyes that hadn't seen sleep in days. Professor Kaku, what we witnessed last night represents the most comprehensive failure of military technology in human history. Every system we deployed against 3I Atlas was not just ineffective, it was completely ignored. He led me to the main operations center where massive displays showed tracking data that defied comprehension. Humanity had unleashed its most advanced weapons in carefully coordinated waves, each designed to exploit different potential vulnerabilities. Professor, we began with long-range kinetic interceptors, tungsten rods accelerated to extreme velocities. 6 interceptors achieved direct contact with 3I Atlas's surface. The impact analysis showed something extraordinary and terrifying. The tungsten rods had struck 3I Atlas exactly as planned, but instead of transferring their kinetic energy, they had simply stopped, their momentum completely absorbed without any visible effect. Michael, how is it possible for kinetic energy to be absorbed without causing damage? Professor, the interceptors didn't bounce off or penetrate. They were somehow neutralized at the point of contact, as if the object absorbed their energy and converted it into something else entirely. Phase 2 involved directed energy weapons, a high-powered laser arrays. We focused the combined output of 12 orbital laser platforms on 3I Atlas for sustained periods. Enough coherent light energy to vaporize any known material had been focused on 3I Atlas's surface for over 20 minutes. The laser energy was completely absorbed, Professor. Not reflected, not scattered, absorbed. And we detected no change in surface temperature, structural integrity, or operational status. Complete energy absorption without thermal effects suggested technology that could manipulate electromagnetic radiation in ways that exceeded our understanding of physics. Phase 3 involved EMP weapons designed to disrupt any electronic systems. The electromagnetic pulses were delivered with sufficient intensity to disable every electronic device within a 1,000-kilometer radius. Professor, not only did the electromagnetic pulses fail to affect 3I Atlas, the object appeared to absorb the EMP energy and redirect it back toward our own systems. Several monitoring satellites experienced power fluctuations. The implication was staggering. 3I Atlas could potentially turn our own defensive systems against us. Phase 4 involved our experimental quantum disruption systems, theoretical weapons designed to interfere with matter at the subatomic level. The quantum disruption weapons were classified systems that could theoretically destabilize matter by manipulating quantum field fluctuations. Complete failure, Professor. The quantum disruption fields had no detectable effect. It's as if the object exists in a quantum state that's immune to the fundamental forces we understand. That afternoon, I was briefed by Dr. Sarah Mitchell from DARPA on weapons systems that weren't supposed to exist, experimental technologies decades ahead of publicly acknowledged capabilities. Professor Kaku, we deployed plasma cannons, gravitational field manipulators, even experimental space-time distortion devices. Space-time distortion devices suggested human military technology technology had advanced far beyond public knowledge. We generated gravitational forces equivalent to those found near neutron stars, focused directly on 3I Atlas's position. The gravitational fields had no effect, Professor. 3I Atlas maintained its position and structural integrity as if the crushing forces simply didn't exist in its reference frame. We deployed one final experimental system, a quantum vacuum manipulation device designed to eliminate matter by disrupting the fundamental quantum fields that allow particles to exist. Quantum vacuum manipulation represented the theoretical ultimate weapon, eliminating matter by attacking the quantum foundation of reality itself. Nothing, Professor, absolutely nothing. 3I Atlas continued operating normally as if we hadn't deployed the most advanced weapon in human history. That evening, I met with General Hayes and the Joint Chiefs to discuss the implications of humanity's complete inability to affect 3I Atlas through any form of military action. Professor Kaku, we need to understand what we're dealing with. Every weapon system in our arsenal has proven completely ineffective. The room contained the most senior military leadership in the United States, and I could see the weight of helplessness in every face. General, based on the test results, what are our defensive options? Professor, we don't have any. 3 Atlas has demonstrated complete immunity to every form of attack we can conceive. Professor Kaku, the failure of our defensive system suggests that 3I Atlas operates using technology principles that render our weapons not just ineffective, but irrelevant. General, what does this mean for planetary defense strategy? Professor, it means we have no planetary defense strategy. If 3I Atlas represents the technological capability of whoever sent it, then Earth is completely defenseless. But there's something else I haven't told you yet, something that happened hours after the failed weapons test. At 6:42 a.m., I received a communication from the Defensive Systems Coordinator. Dr. Kaku, demonstration of defensive capabilities will commence at 14:30 GMT today. Human monitoring systems will observe controlled exhibition of defensive technology. A live demonstration. They were going to show us exactly how outclassed our military technology really was. At 14:30 GMT precisely, the demonstration began. The first target was a decommissioned nuclear submarine in the Pacific. We watched as 3I Atlas emitted a barely visible energy pulse toward the submarine 8,000 kilometers away. Every weapon system on the submarine, nuclear missiles, torpedoes, defensive countermeasures, even the nuclear reactor, simply stopped functioning. Professor, Dr. Torres reported, the nuclear material has been transmuted into stable elements, the explosive compounds converted into inert chemicals. Molecular transmutation, they could selectively alter matter at the atomic level, converting weapons into harmless materials while leaving everything else intact. The second target was a missile defense installation in Nevada. Another energy pulse, and every weapon system experienced the same molecular conversion. The third target was a classified space-based weapons platform, eliminated with the same casual precision. But the most disturbing demonstration involved our military communications satellites. Instead of disabling them, 3I Atlas demonstrated complete takeover. Professor General Hayes reported, they've seized control of our entire military infrastructure while allowing us to continue using it. We're operating our own systems under their supervision. That evening, I received another communication explaining the demonstration's purpose. Dr. Kaku, demonstration illustrates administrative capabilities for managing primitive civilizations during integration. Military systems can be selectively disabled, controlled, or enhanced according to administrative requirements. They viewed our military as something to be managed rather than feared. Professor, future military development will occur under administrative supervision. Weapons technology advancement will be permitted only within parameters that ensure continued cooperation. This morning, I received a final communication defining Earth's new military status. Dr. Kaku, military supervision protocols have been established. Weapons development will continue under administrative guidance. Military forces will serve dual purposes, planetary security and administrative support for ongoing operations. Our military would serve both human security needs and extraterrestrial administrative requirements. Professor, supervised military development will eventually produce human forces capable of supporting administrative operations throughout local star systems. They were planning to use human military forces to support their operations on other worlds. Tonight, as I prepare for humanity's first day under permanent military supervision, I find myself thinking about the nature of power and independence. Our most advanced weapons had been rendered obsolete, our military systems placed under external control. The message I received yesterday was clear. Dr. Kaku, defensive assessment protocols have been monitored and evaluated. Human weapons technology demonstrates primitive understanding of physical manipulation. No threat potential detected. They had been monitoring our weapons test, analyzing our most advanced military capabilities, and dismissing them as primitive technology that posed no threat. Professor Kaku, weapons deployment against operational systems constitutes hostile action according to contact protocols. However, primitive nature of assault indicates lack of understanding rather than genuine threat. Educational response will be provided rather than defensive countermeasures. They weren't even considering retaliation for our attack. They viewed our most advanced weapons as educational opportunities. Dr. Kaku, continued hostile action will require implementation of defensive protocols that render human weapon systems permanently inoperative. Cooperation with contact procedures remains preferable to defensive technology demonstration. This morning, I briefed the Joint Chiefs on the message and its implications for Earth's military posture. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not dealing with a defensive challenge. We are dealing with technology so advanced that our most powerful weapons are viewed as educational curiosities rather than genuine threats. General Hayes, what are our options given this technological disparity? Professor Kaku, we have one option: cooperation. Resistance using conventional military means is not just inadvisable, it's meaningless. The age of independent human military forces has ended. The age of supervised auxiliary development begins. Earth's military belongs to us, but only as long as we use it according to specifications established by civilizations whose defensive capabilities make our attacks look like educational demonstrations. The demonstration is complete, the supervision is permanent, the independence is gone. Welcome to Earth's age of administratively supervised military development. But there's something else I haven't told you yet. Something that happened just this morning that changes everything we thought we understood about our new status as a supervised military civilization and what our extraterrestrial administrators have planned for human forces. At 7:15 a.m., I received another communication from the Defensive Systems Coordinator, but this time the message contained information that redefined our understanding of Earth's role in whatever larger Operation 3i Atlas represents. Dr. Kaku, initial military assessment phase has been completed. Human weapons technology demonstrates adequate potential for enhancement and integration into administrative support operations. Military supervision protocols will now advance to Phase 2 implementation. Phase 2, the phrase carried implications that suggested our military's supervised development was just the beginning of something much more extensive. Professor Kaku, Phase 2 involves selective enhancement of human military capabilities using administrative technology integration. Enhanced human forces will demonstrate significantly improved operational effectiveness while maintaining compatibility with administrative oversight. Enhanced human forces, they were planning to upgrade our military capabilities using their own technology, but under their direct control. Dr. Kaku, enhancement protocols will commence with selected military personnel who demonstrate optimal compatibility for technology integration. Initial enhancement subjects will serve as template for broader military force development. Selected military personnel, they were going to start by enhancing individual soldiers and officers, using them as test subjects for broader military transformation. Over the next hour, the Defensive Systems Coordinator briefed me on enhancement protocols that exceeded anything I had imagined possible. Professor, enhanced military personnel will demonstrate capabilities including improved physical performance, direct technology interface, enhanced tactical awareness, and coordination with administrative operational systems. Direct technology interface. They were planning to physically modify human soldiers to operate their technology directly. Dr. Kaku, enhanced forces will retain human consciousness and decision-making capabilities while gaining access to administrative technology systems. Individual identity preservation ensures continued human military culture compatibility. They were promising to preserve human identity while fundamentally altering human military capabilities. Professor, Phase 2 enhancement will prepare human forces for Phase 3 operational deployment. Enhanced military units will support administrative operations throughout local star systems as auxiliary forces. Phase 3 operational deployment, our enhanced military wouldn't just serve Earth, they would support extraterrestrial operations across multiple star systems. That afternoon, I was contacted by General Hayes with news that confirmed the acceleration of whatever integration process our administrators had planned. Professor Kaku, we've been contacted directly by their command structure. They're requesting volunteers for what they're calling military enhancement trials. Volunteers will undergo technology integration procedures designed to improve combat effectiveness and operational capability. General, have any of our personnel volunteered? Professor, we have over 200 volunteers from across all service branches. These are elite personnel who view the enhancement opportunity as a chance to serve at levels they never thought possible. 200 volunteers, humanity's best military personnel, were eager to undergo alien enhancement procedures. Dr. Kaku, the enhancement procedures will take place at a facility they're constructing in Nevada. The facility combines human and extraterrestrial technology to optimize the integration process. General, what kind of enhancements are they offering? Professor, according to the briefing materials they've provided, enhanced personnel will demonstrate physical capabilities exceeding normal human parameters, direct neural interface with advanced technology systems, and tactical awareness that includes real-time coordination with their operational networks. Enhanced personnel would essentially become hybrid human extraterrestrial soldiers operating under alien supervision. Professor Kaku, they've also indicated that enhanced military personnel will serve as liaison officers between human forces and their administrative command structure. Enhanced individuals will retain human perspective while gaining access to their strategic planning and operational coordination. Liaison officers between human and alien forces, the enhanced personnel would serve as bridges between our military and their command structure. That evening, I received a communication from someone identified as Enhancement Coordination Director, apparently the entity responsible for overseeing the Human Military Enhancement Program. Dr. Kaku, military enhancement protocols represent standard integration procedures for auxiliary forces throughout administrative network. Enhanced human personnel will join enhanced military units from 47 other species currently serving in administrative operations. 47 other species. Our enhanced military would join a network of enhanced soldiers from dozens of other worlds. Professor, enhanced human forces will demonstrate capabilities optimized for specific operational requirements. Human consciousness characteristics indicate particular aptitude for tactical flexibility and adaptive problem solving under complex operational conditions. They had identified specific human mental characteristics that made us valuable as enhanced auxiliary forces. Dr. Kaku, human military enhancement represents opportunity for your species to serve in operations spanning multiple star systems. Enhanced personnel will participate in administrative missions involving planetary survey, resource coordination, and integration, support for developing civilizations. Our enhanced military would help them survey and integrate other worlds, just as they were currently integrating Earth. Professor, enhanced human forces will eventually establish independent operational capability while maintaining coordination with administrative command structure. Your species demonstrates potential for autonomous administrative operations within assigned sectors. Autonomous administrative operations. They were planning to eventually give enhanced human forces independent authority over operations in specific regions of space. But the most striking revelation came in the final part of the communication. Dr. Kaku, military enhancement program represents preparation for advanced operational phases that require combined capabilities from multiple enhanced species. Large-scale administrative projects involve coordination of enhanced forces from thousands of worlds throughout galactic network. Thousands of worlds. Our enhanced military would eventually participate in operations involving enhanced forces from across the galaxy. Professor, current military enhancement program prepares human forces for participation in galactic administrative expansion involving consciousness evolution, projects spanning multiple galaxies. Enhanced human tactical capabilities will contribute to operations affecting development of intelligence throughout cosmic network. Cosmic network operations, they were preparing us to participate in projects that involve the development of intelligence on scales that span multiple galaxies. This morning, I met with an emergency session of international military leaders to discuss the implications of voluntary military enhancement and integration into galactic administrative forces. Ladies and gentlemen, I address the assembled representatives. We are being offered the opportunity to transform our military forces into enhanced units capable of operating throughout galactic space as part of a network involving thousands of enhanced species. The room was silent as military leaders from every major power processed the scope of what was being offered. Professor Kaku asked the British representative, what are the implications of accepting military enhancement? Our military forces would become part of a galactic network of enhanced auxiliary forces serving administrative operations across multiple star systems. We would retain human identity and perspective while gaining capabilities that exceed anything we can currently imagine. Dr. Kaku, what happens if we decline enhancement? Based on their communications, declining enhancement means remaining under direct supervision with limited operational capabilities. Enhancement represents the path to eventual autonomous authority within their administrative network. The choice was clear: remain supervised primitives or become enhanced participants in galactic operations. Professor General Hayes pointed out, the 200 volunteers represent our most elite personnel. If enhancement is successful, we'll have proof of concept for broader military transformation. As our meeting concluded, I realized that humanity's military was facing the most significant transformation in our species' history. We could remain primitive forces under alien supervision, or we could evolve into enhanced units capable of operating throughout galactic space. Tonight, as I prepare for tomorrow's observation of the first human military enhancement procedures, I find myself thinking about the nature of evolution and advancement. Our military had proven completely ineffective against extraterrestrial technology, But enhancement offered the possibility of capabilities that exceeded our current understanding. The volunteers would undergo procedures that could transform them into hybrid human-alien soldiers with capabilities spanning star systems. Whether that transformation represented the ultimate advancement of human military potential or the end of purely human forces remained to be seen. But one thing was certain: tomorrow the first human soldiers would undergo enhancement that could provide them with capabilities that made our current military technology look primitive by comparison. The age of purely human military forces was ending. The age of enhanced galactic auxiliary forces was beginning. And in that transformation, humanity would either find its place as valued participants in cosmic operations or lose its identity in pursuit of capabilities we couldn't achieve on our own. The enhancement begins tomorrow. The transformation is voluntary. The implications are cosmic. Are we ready to become more than human soldiers? Tomorrow we find out.